friends, my great doTERRA friends on board with us tonight. Before we get started, a lot of hosts like to have a bunch of announcements. I think that you guys get bombarded with emails and announcements and everything. So I would just want to invite you to take advantage of the Father's Day, promotion. There's a great travel case with some On Guard toothpaste, On Guard dental floss, and some On Guard beadlets. It's a good way to say I love you to your father, and great way to get LRP points. So anyway, we're gonna jump right in because I am so excited. It's to even grab this guy.
Stop and go right away.
For even a limited amount of time. It's so awesome to take of his energy and to get business tips from him. And his wife, Christy, we're very excited to have his wife on board with us tonight. Daniel, Christy's on board with us this evening.
Hey, Aaron, can you hear me?
Yeah, I sure can. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, man. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Christy's on board?
It will be just me. She has to take care of all the little monkeys out there. So
okay, well, Daniel will be talking a little bit more about his little monkeys later. But Christy's also a great dynamic leader, and the reason I am very thankful to have him on board tonight is because they are some of the few couples that really work the business together very hard. And so it'll be great to hear his perspective tonight about doTERRA. And Daniel, I want to just tell people that he's a founder. He's a founder in doTERRA. So he was one of the first doTERRA leaders to have great success in the U.S. market. He's a U.S. founder. He's a Blue Diamond leader, and he has been very successful at developing international markets. The other thing I like about him is that he never holds back on advice and tricks of the trade or anything that has made him successful. He's more than willing to share to help others succeed. And his excitement and wanting others to succeed is just amazing. So, all right, I did enough blowing smoke. Daniel, tell us just a little bit about yourself, why you do doTERRA, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about why you're so successful, man.
Well, thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that amazing introduction. I feel humbled by the opportunity that I have to be with you tonight. I haven't seen you in probably a year or so or more. So I'm just excited to be in this conference call. Normally I do my conference call in Spanish, most of them. I'm trying to learn Japanese, and I'm still sharpening my English. So, but I'm very, very happy that that you set up this connection, this webinar. I'm very humbled to be your friend. You're an amazing leader. I really appreciate everything you have done with your wife and all the good conversations we've had through the years. And, you know, I always remember those things. So I thank you for your leadership, and I'm sure your team appreciate who you really are as a person and as a leader. So thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
As you mentioned, one of the first 25 distributors of this company signed up about 9 years ago. I'm good friends with Justin. I used to work with Justin, and we used to sit in the same office basically. And one day he just called me and he said, "Hey, you know, there is an opportunity." And I thought, man, is this one opportunity that everybody mentions, you know, these network marketing things? And I was very hesitant to begin with, but, you know, once I knew that the owners of doTERRA, which I also know, you know, were behind the idea of founding doTERRA, I had no doubt that I wanted to be part of this company. So that was 9 years ago. I can't believe it's 9 years ago. Time flies. And since then, many, many good things have happened. I've made some great people. I've made some good friends. I've learned. I've made mistakes. I've done it all, you know. But everything, every year, every month, every day that pass, I learn something new. So hopefully tonight, everybody that is listening can take something from my ideas. My ideas may not be the best ideas for you, but maybe something that I say that you can take with you and help your teams. Or maybe this is something that you've been waiting to hear. So strictly, it's my ideas, and everybody has their own journey. No, everybody has their own journey, and they know where they're gonna be, and everybody has to go through their own uh, through this own path of success. That's what I call it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing with us the map that you forged yourself, the path you've taken, and on that note, man, I'm going to jump into it and just ask you, Daniel, what are your top 5 musts? Like, what must I do to be successful in this business? Like, if you were to narrow it down to like 5, I must do this. And you mentioned one. I think that's one of your musts, because every time I talk to you, you do know something new about the industry, or you're working on a different language. So obviously you must do something new and must learn every day. What else do you have? What are 5 musts?
Well, I put together 5 musts that for me have been a progress in life. Number 1 is believe in yourself and believe that you can be successful in this industry with doTERRA. And I was just talking to my wife, and we have a lady that used to come and clean my house. She will help us clean up the house, and she came once, and that was it. I fired her because she did a horrible job. So, after that, she comes and she tells me, hey, I'm interested in building doTERRA with you. I think that I could be really good on this. And I was thinking, well, I just fired this lady, and now she wants to do doTERRA. Anyway, to make the story short, she's been doing, an amazing job with doTERRA right now. She started focusing in doTERRA, and right now she's about to hit elite. And I'm like, okay, I did not believe in her, to be honest. But she believed in herself. She believed that she can do this. So one of the first musts is that you have to believe in yourself, and if all possible, believe in other people. I know that it's hard, especially when some people come to you and says, hey, I want to build this business. And you're like, well, yeah, right. We'll see what happens, right? We always doubt about that. Number 2, I think that we need to be humble and teachable, which means that no matter who you are, you need an expert always. In order to seal the deal with anybody else in your downline, you need somebody that can help you with that. Either a book, a DVD, and a person. Bring to your meeting somebody that is not yourself. Use somebody, use an expert, and that requires to be humble and teachable. I know some people in my team. I met so many very smart people through these years, and trust me, they know how to do this business, but they think they know it all. So they forget about this little principle of being teachable and using an expert. And that's how we seal the deals with other people. For example, I got people in my team that uses me to close the deal. Why? Because I am not close to these people. So that's something that we must do. Always use somebody. Number 3, okay, you have to have a strong why. Okay, why? Because you're gonna get through tough times in doTERRA, and your why has to be more than just a why. It has to be a purpose. Why are you doing this? If it's just to buy the car of the year, a 2017 BMW, or just to get the house of your dreams, that why is not strong enough, because you will get those things eventually. You will get them, but that will be just the temporary happiness. You can take the picture, post it on Facebook, but is that all that you accomplish for being successful in doTERRA? No. Your why has to be a different purpose. Okay, why do you want to do this? So it's something to think about. Everybody's why is different, but I know the money is not everything. And number 4, if you hit a wall and you can't grow, You can't pass a certain point. So there is something that you need to learn. Okay, you're going through that for a purpose. I say that every rank has a teaching. You know, some people say, well, I'm still a diamond, I'm still a diamond, I'm still as a silver. Okay, so what are you learning from that rank? That is the step that you're on right now, and what are you learning from that? Okay, so you always have to check your belief system, right? You always have to work on your personal development. So I would say number 4, personal development. You have to grow as your business grow. You have to grow with your team. You have to grow as a leader. How do you grow as a leader? Most of you already know how to do that. You know, just have to learn from the experts, study at least 30 minutes a day of this industry, and learn the compensation plan. You know, so many people that I talk to right now, sometimes they've been in this company for many years, and they say, well, I have never understood the compensation plan. I still don't understand why is this happening. So personal development. And the other must in my book is never quitting. You can't quit. If you quit, that's it. You quit to yourself and to your personal development, to your future, to your dreams. Do not quit. Because if, like I said at the beginning, if you don't believe in yourself, then that's tough. You have to believe in yourself and not quit. Keep going until you die. That's what I say. Just keep going. So those are my five musts.
That's awesome. On your last one there, never quit till you die. I had a teacher that always said, you know, you can rest when you're 5 feet under. He would say, rest when you're 5 feet under. He would say.
And you know, and in doTERRA, you never quit. You can't quit. You know, I've been with the company for 9 years, and I keep doing, you know, the same thing, talking to people, giving samples, doing the simple, basic things. Nothing changes. Okay, but your inside change, your heart changes because you start focusing what is more important. But don't quit.
I like what you said about hitting a wall. If you hit a wall, that there's something you need to learn. I kind of, when you said that, I was thinking about that and how each rank has, you know, some preparation for you to get, you know, there's something to learn at that rank to move you forward. If someone were to show up at your doorstep and grab you and shove you into the Olympics, you probably wouldn't fare very well because the competitors and those other people have, you know, taken the steps necessary to be there to run that race. So like you said, having our own race is really important.
Yes. And you and I know that. We've talked about that many years. Remember? You remember that?
Yeah, because, you know, we've had people whiz past us and, you know, different things like that. And we know that our race is our race. And so when we stop to look at others, we, you know, is when we slow down or we quit. So
that's right. That's right.
Awesome.
There's always a time for a season.
That's great, man. We have I've got a structuring question for you. We have some people, there's a lot of debate on whether you should build your team structure for power of 3 or for rank. What's your experience and opinion on that one?
Well, I think you can build both depending on your needs at that time. You know, first, for a new person, I would definitely tell them to build the power of 3. Definitely, because somebody that just come into the company, they want to build so they can make some money. You know, they want to see that this is a business and that they can make the $1,500 bonus. $1,500 in Colombia or Ecuador or Costa Rica or Mexico, it's a lot of money. You know, so I definitely teach them that is the basic of their business at the beginning. Obviously, later on, they can start placing people where, you know, they need to place in order to qualify for ranks. But I think that if somebody gets the $1,500 bonus at the very, you know, the fastest, the better for me. And then, you know, obviously, once they learn more about the compensation plan and how it works, we have to remember that we only get paid 7 levels down. We don't get paid for everything, obviously. So what I do is I say, well, once you hit your 7th level and you got your leaders, start building another power of 3. You know, because you can build infinite power of 3s. You know, you can build your power of 3. Once you complete your $1,500 bonus, you can start to build another power of 3 so you can expand on the sides versus deep. So I told them, build your power of three, build your leaders. Once you see that it's established and that it's going on its own, start building another power of three, because eventually you're going to need 6 leaders on your front line. So I was thinking, okay, well, let's just build down and deep and going all the way down, but we have to be honest. We only get paid up to 7 levels, and we have compression, but I don't think it goes more than, if you compress everything, I don't know, maybe 10, 13 levels can be compressed if somebody's missing an order, but compression is very important. But I want to get paid more than 7 levels. And obviously, if I keep building down on my organization, I'm not going to get paid on that. So I just built on the other side once I have completed that, and that will take many, many, many years. You know that, the power of three is built, but then you build people underneath that, and the levels start, coming down 7, 20, 30 levels, but you want to be, smart in how you're building your team. So I will say structure, power of three, and then building for rank, adding more people on the sites.
That's great, man. That's a great recommendation. And so many times people jump in and they're like, okay, if I just get 12 people across my front line and, I'll get 4 power of threes, and then I can, so it gets a little crazy at the start, but, we have, the stronger the roots, the stronger the tree. And then once you get that solidified, then to go wider. That's a great recommendation.
Right.
Daniel, your Espanol is so good and your English is great. Now you're learning Japanese. A Spanish speaker learning Japanese. You're very bold in this learning every day that you're doing. Share a little bit with why you decided to go international, and what you would suggest to someone who maybe knows some international people or wants to expand a little bit in that area.
I think building international, it's the smartest thing to do. And doTERRA knows that. That's why they have opened so many international markets. They've gone to China, they've gone to Australia, they're doing Taiwan. They're doing everything international because they know that that's where the money is. And even though the United States is one of the biggest markets here for doTERRA, one of the most strongest markets is international. I think for me, building internationally, it's a passion. I'll be honest. I just have this passion of helping other people in other countries where maybe the opportunity is not as good as it is here in the United States. I've been able to open Japan, Mexico, Costa Rica, Guatemala, El Salvador. We're working in Colombia right now and in Ecuador. We just got back from Ecuador, and we had over 700 people on the pre-launching of doTERRA Ecuador. I got up in that stage and I saw all these people. I wanted to cry, man, because I just felt this. I see these people, and I see them, their smiles and their faces, and they're ready to go for it, and they're ready to take doTERRA to the next level. And that passion, that is what I desire. That's what it makes me so excited. That's what pumps me up about this business, seeing other people being successful. So the international markets are tough. It's not easy because right now I have to do everything to keep up the markets in those 2 countries, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador. The company is now established there, so they don't ship directly from the company. So I'm customer service, I'm shipping, I'm everything. Obviously, not just me, right? I have the best team in the world. These people that I find, man, they're just amazing. But building international, if you have somebody that you want to build internationally with, this person has to be strong, has to be a strong leader. It has to have the same why as you do. You have to have the same desire. So, because it's tough, it's going to be tough for that person, at least for, 2-3 years. So it's not easy, but it's worth it. And I'm willing to take that challenge anytime. I'm looking for Spain right now. And, through everything that we do, I think what I like about doTERRA is that we all help each other. Yes, I'm going to Spain, and I know people will come later and join that opportunity. from other teams and everything else, but that's okay. That's good. Sharing is good. So I'm excited to open as many international markets as I can, and you guys just bring all your people you have in there and just start enjoying the business in there.
That's awesome advice. And again, there's a season for international too. Tom Schreider always says, grow local, go global. So if, who do you know around you that's from somewhere else right now that you could share with? Oftentimes people will call me and say, hey, what do I do to start in Brazil? Or what do I do to start in China or Japan or somewhere? What they forget is that I don't have all those answers, and Daniel doesn't either, but we have this wonderful support team in Utah that speaks all the different languages, that knows the status of these countries and can answer those questions for you to enroll people, either GAC or through those countries. So we've got to use that resource to move forward. And many times you can get an international start just from local before spending tons of money on travel and landing over there without knowing anyone. We've probably made a lot of the mistakes already, Daniel, right? And
yes, we've done some mistakes, but you know what? That is the cool thing about this, that even though we made mistakes, we got up and we kept doing what we feel is right. And everybody's going to make mistakes in opening new markets and talking to new people, and some people will say, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this, or they don't do anything, but that's okay. That's part of our story, I guess.
Well, that brings me to our next question. One of the things that amazes me about you, man, is your ability to balance your business and family life. And I know you can do that without your sweet wife. Not many people know this, but Daniel has a special needs child. And how many children do you have, Daniel?
I have six.
Daniel has six children, and he manages, it must be a crazy teeter-totter that you have, but he amazingly balances this with his international doTERRA business. And I just wanted to ask you, miraculously, how do you do that? And what kind of advice could you give people to balance their business and their family life? Because you don't want to sacrifice on the family side, of course.
Right. Well, in my experience is that you have to have an accountability partner and to help you with this. And my wife does a great job for me. She tells me when to stop. She tells me, okay, we'll put that phone down. And I have learned through these years that, you have to have your time. You cannot run like a chicken without a head. Otherwise, you're going to be very tired, and you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be exhausted, and you're going to be like, I'm going to quit. So I think that's something that is very good to do, to find balance, is to turn your phone off. You have to turn your phone sometimes. Set some times for yourself. I know that we don't work 8 to 5 anymore. Sometimes I work like 8 to 8, 8 to 10, 8 to 12, whatever time it is. But that's when you have to start thinking, you're doing this to be successful. You're doing this to find happiness with your family. And if you are all day in your phone, all day in your computer, you're doing everything here and there, but you don't find time for yourself, then where is success? So I think that you need to find the balance on your own, on the things that you want to do. Write them down, put them on the calendar, and just do that, and stop when you have to stop. Sometimes you think, oh, well, they're calling me and they want to place the order, or Maria is asking me this question at 10 o'clock at night. All I'm telling you is that nobody's going to die. Okay. set boundaries. Till this day, nobody has died in my team. So I set boundaries now, and I say, well, Sundays I don't work. That's my spiritual day. From Friday to Monday to Saturday, I can answer questions until, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, and then I have to spend time with my kids. We have to have some family time. So yeah, that's it for family and balance.
Thanks so much, man. Those are very, very important points, and it's obvious. And I think, on a spiritual side, the blessings come when you do take that time and enhance the family when you can. And so I just have a little personal question to ask you as far as what is doTERRA afforded you to do now that you weren't able to do before? And again, you know, there's the cars and the houses and all that stuff, whatever. But I mean, like, I know that when I visited you in your home, you had a passion for your dogs. So
Right.
Daniel loves German Shepherds. So tell me what you're able to do now, much like, you know, train your dogs and things, but what other kind of things has doTERRA given you the freedom to do?
Well, I think that, you know, Heavenly Father or God has blessed us and my family tremendously. It has given me the opportunity to give my family the opportunity. You know, I have seen my sisters, my uncles, my cousins, they're all do doTERRA. So this is something that has given me the opportunity to give to them, you know, to give them doTERRA. You know, the opportunity that I can be at home, that I can see my kids grow, that I can see my 3-year-old walk, you know, and talk for the first time. I mean, all those things are just amazing. You know, those things that I never thought they were so important because I was always working 8 to 5 in a corporate job. Now that I'm with doTERRA, I can see every single step of my family, how they're growing, how they're learning. I can be involved as a father. I can teach them things. I can talk to them. I can be more personal to them. And also the relationship with my wife. You know, we obviously, you know, are like a normal couple. We have our things and that sometimes we don't agree with, but you know, we get along better than before because right now we see what is needed. I have the time to stop and think about what's more important. So I think family for me has been the best thing that doTERRA and this job has done.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Daniel. Um, we, my wife and I were, when we were talking about some of the questions that we could talk to you about, you know, there's obviously that book called The Tipping Point. And, you know, we were wondering if you had a tipping point into, or what do you think a tipping point is in between failure and a successful, thriving doTERRA business? What do you think the real tipping point is on that?
Okay, so here's the question. And this is the question that I asked to everybody that is trying to reach that. And I said, are you holding classes? You know, for me, the one point is, are you holding classes? If you're not maintaining, if you're not holding classes, then you're not progressing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to do classes. We have to stay active. And, you know, I do a lot of classes at home with my neighbors, with my friends. You know, the big events are good. You know, I go to huge events. You know, I've been to Australia, I've been to Japan, and we have like 5,000 people that we can do an event. And those big events are the combination of little events. So for me, the tipping point is you have to stay active doing classes. You can never stop doing classes. You know, you can do classes for your team and teach and duplicate your classes to them so they can do the same thing. Imagine if you do everything, if you're the only one doing the classes for your team. Yes, you will grow. But imagine if another one like you and another one or 3 or 4 like you are doing classes. Classes for me are the point of success. You have to do them.
That's a great point, Daniel. If you think about, you know, regular management or even your cubicle job that you talked about before, many times management makes themselves the go-to person, right? They kind of protect the information. They make themselves valuable because no one else knows how to do that. And they don't really want to let you know what information that you need to climb the ladder because then you would replace them. So
Right.
when we get to network marketing, it's kind of the absolute reverse, right? We want to be a great example and do the basics over and over so that people can launch themselves and be successful on their own, right?
Right. And I think you've done a great job doing that, Aaron. I think you've always expressed that to me. I remember that, and you've always expressed that to your team. You know, I think you've done an excellent job doing that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And then just the granddaddy question of all, you know, what why is this whole shebang worth it? Because, you know, I know for a fact, I mean, you know, we've heard each other's stories, man, sleeping in cars. And, you know, I think I was going to get the award for being in Diamond Club the most times. I don't know if there's a wall of shame for that or not, but I'm not a founder, but I'd be on that one.
Right. That's a good one.
But it goes back to we didn't quit, like you said. We didn't quit. We stuck it out. So why is this? You know, the sacrifices that you made and everything. Why is this worth it to someone maybe who is struggling with their doTERRA business or struggling with the family balance? What could you tell them that really makes this the sacrifice of their LRP and things like that? You know, why is this worth it in the long run to you?
I will say that it's worth it because through your dreams, you can help others do the same. You know, you can obtain, say, self-reliance through this business. You can become somebody that, you know, that you have always wanted to be. You can change your world. You don't have to stay where you are. You can change who you are by doing little things that doTERRA has in place. You know, this company, it's amazing from the D to the A. It's complete. You know, this company helps people. And that's the example that I put to others. I say, well, the owners of the company, obviously they're millionaires now, obviously. You know, they made it. But they have never stopped helping people. They have created organizations, healing hands, co-impact. Why do they do that? Because they realized the money is not everything, you know. So for those that are thinking, was this worth it? You bet it's worth it. Because through your efforts and your dreams, you can help others. And that's what it's all about. You know, I think that, like I said before, personal development, I think it's worth it because of that. If we don't grow in this life, then we're never going to grow. I have so many friends, and I sadly say this because I went to Ecuador, and best friends, good friends, they're just working and working and working, and they're just waiting that one day they'll be 60 years old, they will retire, they'll have the little pension, and that's what they're looking forward. That's all they want to do. And I'm like, come on, guys, wake up. There's more than that. You can be happy. You can be successful financially, spiritually, emotionally. You know, success is not just money. Success is being happy with yourself, with your family, with your spouse. I think that's what success is. So if somebody asks me, is this worth it? 1,000 times yes.
That's awesome, Daniel. Daniel, I appreciate you being on the call tonight and all of your wisdom and everything. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us tonight before we close the call?
Well, no, I think I've said a lot already. I just want to thank you for who you really are and for the good times that we had in Nashville and Tennessee. I'm in Atlanta now, as you know, but I respect you for who you are. Respect your wife for the integrity that you have through these 9, 6, 7 years that you've been with doTERRA. And for me, that's something to admire. So thank you for your leadership, and everybody that is listening in this conference call. You know, Aaron and his wife have one of the biggest hearts that I've ever seen. So you guys are in good hands, and I always will say that you guys are in the best team ever. So thank you so much.
Daniel, thank you so much for sacrificing your time to be with us tonight. And again, I'm happy to have you as a founder because you're a great example to us, and we appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us. And this, you know, to top it all off, to really tell you what Daniel is like. Daniel is not even on our team. In other words, you know, what I do doesn't benefit him. What he does doesn't benefit me in a financial way. And that's what makes him a founder and an amazing person. Is it doesn't matter. Lines don't matter to Daniel. He is always there for everyone when he has a chance. So we really appreciate that. And I know that our team really appreciates the wisdom you share with us tonight. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, brother. And I also saw that some people have some questions there. If you want to write them down for me or any questions, I can't see the questions because I'm not the host, I guess, but they just pop up and they go away. I'm not sure how that works, but if they want to I don't know if later on you would like me to answer those questions. I'm happy to do so.
Okay, a lot of them are international like shipping questions and things like that. I think it's someone asked about Argentina. Have you done anything in Argentina, Daniel?
No, we do have some of our team shipping product directly. Something to understand is that the company, when there's a country that is not open, the company is not going to ship directly to that. So they have to sign up through Global Access, and us or you, the person interested in building in Argentina, has to send the product by yourself and make sure that it goes through. But that is the hardest thing, finding the right custom people that can allow it to go through, because if it doesn't have any health documents, or depends on the country, it's tough. They always stop it, and then you will lose your product. So be careful.
Yeah, so Daniel, I'm sure has horror stories on being a pioneer in those areas. When you, if the country is not open, you have to enroll the person GAC, and then you are responsible for shipping to that country until doTERRA has the resources to open there. So it's a long, difficult journey. It is worth it. If you do get sidetracked in building your own business here with that, and it gets overwhelming, then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with growing your business. Yep. So you need to be wise with that, and then use doTERRA's resources to find out information about those countries, because that's what corporate's there for, is to help you launch in those areas as well.
Right.
Let's see. And Brazil's getting pretty close to open, do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, we got in the map, we got Colombia, which we had pre-launching just, I think it was February or March. And then we Ecuador, we got Chile, Peru, and then Brazil. Brazil is a great market. The people are, if you're building in Brazil, if you have friends, definitely watch for that market. That is going to be an incredible market to build. So let's just wait to see what happens. But the company is not going to focus on those other countries. They're focusing strictly right now in Colombia and Ecuador. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for that. I'll keep an eye out for any other questions. I think they're mostly international related, and I will certainly let you know if we need some more information. Daniel, thank you so much, man. And we're looking forward to seeing you at convention. Convention's months away, but doTERRA, the doTERRA calendar goes so quickly. It'll be like a week, right?
There's a video thing here. All right, there we go. Let me see if you can you see me?
Let's see. Let me close my chat. My daughter, before we close the call, I wanted to wish my daughter a happy birthday. She puts up with me. She's in my downline and puts up with me, and I call her doTERRA all the time. She's my doTERRA. And so happy birthday to Rachel. She just turned the big 3-0.
Congratulations.
So, happy birthday to you, Rachel. I love you. And thanks everybody for being on tonight, and have a great week. Don't forget the Father's Day special, and have a fantastic doTERRA week. Thanks a million, Daniel.